that team's playing out of their frickin' minds. And the thing is, they're doing it in such an unsustainable way offensively and we all know this. Like, their stats are off the charts. But when they settle in, Gator, what are they going to be? Because I guess what surprises me, I never would have guessed that they would have gone at any point during the season through a 6-game stretch where they were the most potent offensive team in the NHL. I never would have guessed that.
No, I would agree.
And I'm not talking about just right out of the gate. Because
any 6-game stretch in the season.
If you had asked me before the season, well, the Red Wings put in a 6-game stretch in which they are the highest scoring team in the NHL, I would have never said yes.
I think it's so exciting to watch them play because they are putting the puck on the net. A lot of it has to do with the power play. And then you get the game Sunday afternoon against Calgary. I think they were 0 for 5 in a power play, and they still scored 6 goals, and none of them were empty net goals. I mean, they're fun. DeBrincat is fun to watch. He and Larkin together. It's night and day difference between watching those two play and watching Larkin play with Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi was the gritty guy, go in the corners, dig the puck out, get some ugly goals, and you do a lot of the dirty work. These guys just fly now. Mm-hmm. Larkin's got great speed, so does DeBrincat. They just fly around the rink, and you get them open there's a 2-on-1. It's done. DeBrincat just buries that shot, and he's done it a couple times already this year with that 2-on-1 mentality. And the power play is it's fun to watch it done with that kind of precision. And even if they don't score, my God, they're creating chances. So they're getting a reputation early, I would imagine, throughout the league that you can't afford to take penalties against the Red Wings. They're going to kill you.
Well, it might be the best thing that's happened to Dylan Larkin, who's been a very good player here. But, this could be the buddy that takes him to the next level.
The buddy. Go back to that
old
Mike Ilitch thing. Yep. We're going to get you a buddy.
Yep.
To Pavel Datsyuk, that they never really got him the buddy. Yeah, it's and yet you look at last season, and he had his best season last season with 79 points in 80 games and tied a career high in goals at 32, and he did it without having anybody riding shotgun with him. That was all him, because you had guys that were hurt and then guys who were traded. That was all Dylan Larkin. Now it's totally different. Now, are they both going to get 2 points a game for the rest of the year? Absolutely not. But is it possible that you've got two guys that are at least a point a game guys playing together? And I think the answer is yes.
So ESPN, because today's the Frozen Frenzy, where they're going to start games basically every 15 minutes from like 6 o'clock to 11. And ESPN at 8 o'clock is going to go in live hockey coverage. And so you're going to see they're just going to bounce around the NHL red zone style. So ESPN put up a story, basically one reason to watch every team. And for the Red Wings, it was, quote, the Lark and the Cat. So I don't know if this is what this is going to be known as, the Lark and the Cat. And, of course, Lucas Raymond's on the line as well.
Yeah, it seems like they move around a little bit for that extra winger there, but I like them. I like this line together. I like the other lines on the team. Everybody's got a purpose, and that's kind of fun because it takes me back to when I first got into Red Wing hockey in the mid 80s. Once they got lines together and you knew the guys on each line, mm-hmm. and everybody had their purpose and had their role, and they acted accordingly, and it kind of went that way for 30 years, that everybody knew the role. Oh, here comes, then you had the glorified grind line was great to watch. But before that, you had guys who was a checking line. Oh, you don't want to mess with these guys. Here they come. And you're starting to feel that way now that you see guys like Rasmussen who can kind of control the game a little bit with his length. He's starting to learn. It's really starting to learn with it. And Veleno is another one who's really up to his game. And everyone talked about Veleno when he was drafted, that this is a guy that's got, perhaps future captaincy written on him. He was a very good leader, and all right, whatever. We haven't seen much out of it, and now we're starting to see it, and I like it. But it's early. Yeah,
it's very early, and yet, bottom line here is it's enough. Hopefully it's enough to get people to show some interest, to tune in early. We've gotten to the point where the concept of playoff hockey is exciting. And I think back to when the Tigers Went all those years from what was it, 87? Was that 87 through 2006 and never made the playoffs? Wasn't that what it was?
The Tigers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. They made the playoffs in 87, and they didn't make it again until 06.
So this hasn't been that long, but it's kind of got that. It's kind of got that feel.
Yeah,